Now that we have our internal walls all put in, we can start to add some doors and windows. And let's have a look at the way that we do that. I'm first of all going to go to our ground floor, and if we go up and select doors, if we have a look at the list there, we have a number of doors that are available to us in this template. Remember, we can always add to this because doors are just ordinary families. If we edit this type, you can see you can load in other doors which you could go into. It brings you into your Australian families, and if we find doors, you can see that there are many standard doors within the Revit program itself. But sometimes we want other doors, and these days a lot of companies are manufacturing doors and also creating Revit drawings for their particular product, which is probably the best way to do it, especially if you're picking a certain door from a manufacturer. If we just have a look at some of those, first of all, this is the Seek Autodesk site. They have, if I just go back one, they have a series of different families that you can choose from in building, interior, and you can see you've got many different families coming in here, including doors and windows. If we click on that one, these are all downloadable. Remember, the family file for Revit is RFA is the file name, and you can see there's many different types of doors here that we could use. This is a company called A&L. Now they actually make windows and doors, and again they have a if I just go back a couple too, they have Revit files that are able to be downloaded. In this case, doors shows you all the different types of doors that you might use. So if we just had an aluminium door, it's then got a number of different types of doors that we can download family files to. Now if you're downloading any of those, what I suggest you do is you download them into your Revit folder in My Families. Okay, you could also move them into the Revit library under the Doors folder, and they would always become available to you when you went to look when you went to Edit, Type and Load. But at this stage I suggest you we're just using the ones that are available in this template, so you don't have to do anything. But certainly when you go on to design your own homes or houses at the end of towards the end of the year, you may be using different doors and windows that you have selected, and you can put them into your folder, My Families folder, or into the library in the Revit program itself. Okay, I'm going to pick the single flush door, and obviously we're going to need to have our drawing out so we know where these doors are actually going. Now all of these doors I've put in. When you look at a door in a house and you open it, there's often a small gap between where the hinge is and the other wall. As you can see, if we just zoom in here, let me just zoom in a bit. There we go, and you can see that gap there. Now I'm making that 100, so you'll see when we go to put our door in how that works, and we can keep them all at roughly about 100. Okay, so I've got my plans here. I know where my doors are going. I've got my single door fixed. If I come in and hover over the area, you can see it puts the door in, but it also might be around the wrong way. You can hit the space bar on your keyboard to get that to go in the right way, and you can see that the temporary dimension there is saying that it is 100 millimeters away from that corner, which is what I want, and I just have to left click, and that door automatically goes into position. If you didn't get it right and you want to change it, you can click on these arrows, which will change the door around or change it from side to side, but it was actually where we wanted it to be. Okay, I'm just going to run through now and pop these doors in where we need to have them. Again, it's a pretty simple exercise. Remember, you can use your space bar to turn them around. Got one there. We have one in the bathroom. 100 there. Space bar. Just want to be on this side. That's right. And we come down. We're putting one into the shed. I'm finding that a bit hard to get the 100 there, so what I'll do, I think it's because it's not wide enough, it's just fitting in there. We might have to just make that one a little bit closer because it's actually putting it in the center because there's not enough room there for it to open up. We've got a walk-in wardrobe there, and we want our laundry one here. That's good, and I think that's all the room ones that we need. Oh, I think I've got just an ordinary one in here as well, but opening the other way, which is like a closet door there. Okay, so that's fine there. And I think that's it for all the interior doors. I think I'm putting one of these ones just here too, going to the outside. Okay, so we've got all our interior doors in. Now we want to put our exterior doors in. Come and choose from the list again. We've got entry door here. That's a timber panel door. That's our roller door. We'll put that in a minute. We've got a sliding door here, so we want the sliding door 3 panel. Just pick on the type 1. Sometimes you think, oh, I'll just click on that and nothing happens, but there's actually could be several types of that sliding door. This one only has one type, so I'm just picking that one there. And we want to get this in the center of this little alcove here. So Revit will tend to make it center by itself, and if we just get that there, you can see the measurements are both exactly the same, and we'll click and put that one in there. We want to put a front door in, and that one's there, our TD87, and that's going to come down and go in here. And I'm just going to put that, I'm going to centralize that again and swap it over to that side, so that's good. Let's put that one in. We also want to put our bifold door in as well, so we'll come and have a look at the bifold door, and that's going to be right up. Oh, that's not the one we wanted. Let's go back and grab that bifold. There it is, type 1. Again, this is just sort of a bit difficult, this one. It really goes on one end of it, and we want it centralized, so I've got 750 at both ends there. When we put that in, it's going to take a little while for that to go in, so that's in there now. I've actually got it opening on the wrong side because those folds should go on the outside, so again we can just flip that one over like so. Okay, we've only got one more door I think to put in, which is our garage lift up door. We should have one of those in here as well. There it is there, door timber panel. It's going in the garage. We need to just pick that style there. Come down, find this again. We're going to put this right in the center. Just make sure we're getting that absolutely in the center, and we have that in there in the right place as well. So if we go and have a look at a 3D look at this now, you can see we've got our bifolds at the back, we've got our sliding doors here, all our interior doors are in, and if we swing around we've got our roller door in. Our roller door is at ground level, so we're going to have to change a couple of things there. Let's have a look at that, and we want that a little bit lower because remember our shed is lower. So we can come back and click on modify, we can highlight that, and if we look at the level ground sill height, we want to have that at -100. Enter. When we come onto the screen, you can see that that's dropped that down now. We're on right onto the slab. This one's okay because we are up a little bit. We're going to have a little step up there. That's fine. Let's go around and have a look at the other doors, make sure they're okay. Yep, we've just got that. That's right at floor level, so that's good. And this one here is good as well. We've got a little bit across the top there, and it's running right on the floor level there. So that's exactly how we want it to be. Okay, so all of those doors are in, and you should be able to do that fairly rapidly. But remember, be accurate about getting them into the right places with about 100 mil from the corners. There's a couple there that won't allow you to do that. The shed door here and this cupboard door here. Now this looks a bit confusing here, but that's fine. This would normally be closed most of the time, as would the shed door be closed most of the time. So as long as the two don't hit each other as they come out, one's going in and one's coming out, that's fine. So we've got all of those. If you look at this, you can see a little arrow here showing which way that's opening as well. And I think that's all we need to do with putting our doors into the house at this stage. I think while we're here, we can actually start to label some of these doors as well. And if we come up to I just need to find this because this does look a little bit different than what I normally the normal way I use this. Here we go. Come into annotate and tag by category. So if we click on that and we start to work through our doors, you'll see that they put in a little number here, and they've got a leader on them. I don't particularly want that leader on there, so when we bring those in, I'll go around and change those in a minute. We'll have to change each one separately. Unfortunately, we can select them. These numbers are quite high here, but we will change them as we go along. And we've got an outside door there as well. So just hit escape a couple of times, and when we click on these, you'll see that there's a leader line. If we take that leader line off, we can select all of those by holding the control key down, going just onto the numbers, remember, not the door itself. And I think I'm missing one there, I just can't get that one at the moment. Okay, so this one's actually belonging over here. I just want to put them right in the doorway. Like so. I think we're missing one there. I think that one was wait a minute, just undo that. I think we're missing that one there. So it's just a matter of dragging those into place, and we've got a couple more there to put in. Architecture and annotate. And we want that front door and that door there. Okay. Couple of exits out, just change that one and move it over, and we'll change that one and move it over. So what's happening there now, that one can come over there too. What's happening there now is we've got all the doors numbered, and if we come down into our project browser and look for legends and schedules, we should have one for door there, but it's not coming up at the moment. We'll just see what happens. But I think we need to save that before it will come up. So we've labelled all of those doors, we've moved them all over so that they're in the area of the door itself, so we know which one, but the numbers aren't correct. So when we actually do a save, we should be able to get a door schedule up. New schedule, we need to put a new schedule up, That's not the one we want. Maybe a legend. Now we come down here to doors and OK. And what do we want on it? We want the number, or the mark, add, we want the width, and we want the height, and I think that's probably all we need at this stage, but we can add more to that if we want to, and we'll click OK, and we get this coming up here. Now you can see how we're all high here. What I suggest is we change all of these to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and so on. And I've changed all those now, and if we come back into, just do a save, and if we come back into our floor plan, you'll see that those numbers have now changed to correspond with those as well. So that's putting doors in. Next we're going to look at putting windows in.